Zachary, and he has a problem. His neighbors don't really like the way he drives. He often speeds through his neighborhood, revs his engine, and the neighbors hate it. Specifically these neighbors, the Durhams. Mom, dad, and two sons, who we'll call 17 and 21, because those are their ages. And Zachary and the Durhams, they get into it all the time over this. Now eventually Zachary, he starts filming these arguments and posting them to his TikTok. And everything changes when he films this. That's the Durham mom.
Get my tag, Karen.
My name is not Karen, so get my name straight.
Now he posts this video to his TikTok and it blows up, 3 million views. Now the Durham family, they see this video of them going viral and they get pissed off. And 21, he allegedly goes to confront Zachary. And I guess tries to pull him out of his own car and fight him. It's a whole mess, but it's great TikTok content for Zachary and he films the whole thing. So he starts posting about all this more consistently. And people on TikTok are loving the drama. It's getting him more views, it's getting him more followers, and things keep escalating and all this goes on for months. And one day, the youngest Durham son, 17, he's out riding his bike. And Zachary's driving like an asshole, I guess, and he allegedly comes really close to hitting 17. So Durham mom finds out about this and she gets really mad and she goes to confront him. But this time she records the argument with her phone and there she is confronting him and they get into it. And I guess she gets a little too close to Zachary's truck and he kind of smacks her phone away and strikes her at the same time.
Did you hit me? Did you hit me?
Although it's kind of hard to see and I can't really show you anyway. So then Zachary hauls ass out of there and he drives back to his house. So the Durham dad and his two sons follow him back there. And they are ready to whoop some ass. But Zachary, he ain't playing around. He comes out of his house, he has two friends with him. He also has a stun gun and a knife. And really quickly, this turns into a 3-on-3 brawl. Which I can't show you, but trust me, you're not missing much. Most of the footage looks like this anyway. Now at the end of the fight, Zachary kinda got beat up, it seems. But he also got a few stabs in, one of them being really bad, puncturing Dad Durham's lung. So the fight ends and Zachary calls 911.
911, it's emergency. He's got assaulted his gun.
And police show up and they make some arrests and they send Zachary to the hospital for concussion. And the Durham family sends Dad Durham to the hospital for his stab wounds. And after all that chaos, Zachary's in police custody. And he's still in his hospital gown when they give him this terrible news.
No.
Dad Durham didn't survive the fight. So Zachary gets charged with second-degree manslaughter. And they have this long trial where his attorney argues it was self-defense. And after all that, at the end of it all,
Not guilty.
so he walked. And to this day, he still makes TikToks. And sometimes he talks about all of it.
My life was ruined with this case.
And sometimes he'll duet other people who talk about it. It's pretty crazy. Shout out to... And Brianna's living her best life. She's married to a great guy, she has a job she loves teaching high school, but there's a problem. One day, the worst happens. Brianna's husband, who we'll call husband, he gets laid off, and her teaching salary can't support the two of them. But they get an idea. They decide they're gonna start making spicy content, and they start an OnlyFans. And they don't just post racy pictures of Brianna, they make videos of the both of them. But she doesn't show her face, because she doesn't want to get recognized. So they do this OF on the side for a couple of months, and they make a nice chunk of change, like an extra 10 grand a month or so. So it looks like their financial troubles are over. Until one day they do a collab video with another couple on OnlyFans, where they all four do like an adult scene together. And that couple is a lot more popular on the OF than Brianna and her husband. And that was when allegedly someone was watching that scene and they were like, hey, I recognize that person. But they weren't talking about Brianna because she doesn't show her face. They recognized husband, who doesn't blur his face. And through that, they were able to conclude that the woman he is with is Brianna. Now remember, Brianna's still a high school English teacher. And soon after that collab, she's in her classroom, class just ended, and suddenly there's a knock at the classroom door. And she opens it, and it's two school administrators, and they're like, we need to talk. And immediately the school places her on suspension while they decide what to do about all this. And at this point, she's probably gonna get fired. And then someone posts a link to her OnlyFans in a Facebook group. That Facebook group was the Facebook group to Brianna's school. So now her students definitely know. And that was when she decided to say, all right, and resign.
Students were never meant to see this.
And she realizes she can never go back to the classroom. But during all this, her story, it's on the local news, it's on the national news, it makes the front page of Reddit, it's blowing up. So more people are going over to check out her account. And more people check it out, and more people check it out, and they keep checking it out. And eventually she has tens of thousands of subscribers, all who are paying to see her. And she just reported that in that 5 months, since all this blew up, she's made nearly $1 million. And she and her husband are no longer in debt. Update, they just found another teacher who had a secret OnlyFans account from that same school. What the hell? Shout out to that school. in prison now. So she does makeup videos, fashion videos, and she goes by the name Maybe Vlogs. And sometimes her mother appears in her videos, and let's just call her the mother. Now, Mother is very close with her daughter, but unfortunately, she's not happy with her marriage. So she does what a lot of cheaters do. She secretly gets a dating app. And while she's on this app, she matches with this guy, Saqib. Now, Saqib, he's a lot younger than her. At the time, he's 18, she's 43. But they really hit it off, and they hook up. I guess you could say he was quite literally doing your mom. So Saqib and the mother, they keep this low-key affair going for about 3 years. And despite their age difference, Saqib is really into her. He buys her dinners, jewelry, expensive gifts. Overall, he spends about 3,000 pounds on her, or about $3,600 US. They even end up using his phone to make some adult videos together. Now, Maybe Vlogs, she knows her mom's involved in this affair, but she ain't no snitch. And she doesn't tell her dad, this guy. And one day, the mother, she decides this affair, it's not working for her anymore. And she breaks up with Saqib. And Saqib, the poor guy, he does not take it well. He's sad, he's angry, plus he spent like 3,000 pounds on her over the years. That's a lot of money to Saqib. So then, Saqib, he decides to give her an ultimatum. Stay with me, or I'm gonna reveal this affair to your husband. And Saqib had the adult videos and stuff to prove it. So the mother, she doesn't know what to do. So she turns to her daughter for help. And together, they come up with a devious plan. They're gonna steal Saqib's phone from him and wipe the evidence off it. Like the adult videos, the texts, all of it. So she contacts Saqib and says, okay, meet me in this parking lot tonight. And you know what? I'll pay you back the 3,000 pounds you spent on me over the years. And Saqib, he's like, all right, fine. Because, you know, he wanted to see her. So around midnight that night, Saqib has a friend drive him to this empty, shady-looking parking lot to meet her. So they get there, and then the mother shows up. But she's not alone. She's got Maybe Vlogs and 6 other henchmen with her. The devious plan they had come up with was to lure Saqib into this parking lot and beat the out of him, or threaten to, until he hands his phone over. And Saqib, he's not stupid. He sees this gang of people and he realizes what's happening right away. He knows he's about to get jumped. So him and his friend driving, they jump in the car and they bounce. Now the mother, Maybe Vlogs, and 2 carloads of people follow them. So they got 8 people pursuing them, and it turns into a crazy high-speed chase. They're ramming the back of his car, they're trying to box him in, they're trying to run him off the road. Now Saqib, he's in this moving car and he calls the police. And literally, while he's on the call with the police operator, the mother and her goons successfully run his car off the road, and he runs right into a tree. His car catches on fire, and both Saqib and his friend driving, they die. So both the mother and Maybe Vlogs are eventually arrested. They get convicted and found guilty of double murder. And about a month ago, they were sentenced to life in prison. And by the way, Maybe Vlogs' TikTok account, it's still up. And this all happened in Leicester, England, so shout out to England.
Camden.
About to fall in love. Now she goes by the name Catwoman. Now Catwoman was on vacation with her friends in Mykonos, and one night they all stay out late partying. And while they're walking back to their Airbnb, Catwoman hears a song playing in a nearby bar, and she loves this song.
Oh my god, I literally ran in and started dancing.
Also at that same bar is this guy, who we'll call Greek. And Greek is making his way through that bar, and that's when this moment happens.
I'm just gonna date myself. I don't like anyone else.
But unfortunately, it's late, Catwoman's friends are bugging her to leave, and she's intoxicated, so she does. And about a week goes by, and Catwoman is back in Malaysia from her vacation. And she's forgotten all about that drunken night and this moment. Until she starts looking at some of the vacation footage. And that's where she really notices Greek. Like, damn, he kind of fine.
I was like, sis, were you blind? He could be the one. I could be with the Greek man right now.
So she takes the video of this moment and posts it to TikTok and captions it asking the internet to help find him. And that video blows up like 16 million views. But unfortunately, nobody knows who he is. And about a week later, she posts about it again.
We haven't found him yet, girls. Maybe we will.
Then, suddenly, kind of out of nowhere, Catwoman's video gets a reply.
I'm here.
And the internet loses their collective mind. People are freaking out, they're going crazy, they're making reaction videos to this, and of course Catwoman herself is going crazy too. And the two of them, they start exchanging messages. He sends her a DM, "I'll send you when I'll be there." He posts a TikTok of himself outside the bar where they met. They start talking, they make plans to meet up. Things are really looking good for this love story. So they finally meet up, and like immediately they fall deeply in love. Just kidding. The internet is not a
I
movie.
guess he's just too busy. Like, I'm in Malaysia, he's in Greece. The long distance, time difference. At the end of the day, I guess he just ain't giving, you know?
I guess after all that, they realize the romantic fantasy is just a fantasy. I mean, it's disappointing, but she seems to be taking it well.
At the end of the day, shit happens.